So, moving on, we have Mr. Liarokapis to present us some initial results from the XR4ED project.
Okay, good afternoon. First of all, thank you for the invitation. My name is Fodis Liarokapis. I come from Greece, but I live in Cyprus for the past 3 years, and I'm the project coordinator of a European project called XR4ED, which I'm going to present you today. So we are not a very big consortium. We have 11 partners. You can see the distribution on the map on the top. And we have a budget close to 8 million euros. This is an innovation action project. So I'm going to describe and explain why there is such a big budget for 11 partners in the consortium. First of all, I would like to take you through the main objectives of the proposal, of the project. The main concept is to create a platform. So we want to design, create, and maintain an on-demand platform which is going to be used for the EdTech community in the European Union. And we're going to address issues for privacy, ethics, and inclusiveness. Now, in terms of the implementation, we have 3 different sets of objectives because this is an innovation action. For those of you who don't know what's an innovation action, so I'm going to go through the objectives and try to explain some of the things in more detail. So we have only one scientific objective, which is to enhance the XR technologies for education. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to take existing work, which is TRL4, to TRL7. I have been working in VR since 1998 and AR since 1999. This is one of the latest work I have been doing at my previous position in Czech Republic. And this is student work. So what you can see on the left-hand side is a video of a student trying to create an application in augmented reality using market-based approach, as it was discussed before, to teach other colleague students a difficult subject in computer graphics. And this is Bezier curves. So in that case, I followed an activity learning approach. I used that in the past a lot. On the right-hand side, you can see another student trying to use, again, augmented reality to teach other colleague students the principles of lighting, which is another topic of computer graphics. So my assignment was very simple. I asked the students, you can do whatever you like in the context of computer graphics. So you have to use augmented reality to teach your colleague students difficult concepts in computer graphics. I have done a lot of work. I'm not going to show any other videos from my previous work on that matter, but the idea here is that we want the students to follow an activity-led based approach. Okay, I'll move on to the other 2 types of objectives. We have technological objectives. So we have 2 objectives. Basically here we have to implement this platform, which I'm going to explain in the next few slides. And also a very hot topic in the XR community is to formulate privacy and ethics standards for this community. As I said, it's very hot. We don't know how to approach it, not us, the whole scientific community yet properly. So this is a very important issue. And the last thing is the business objective, because this is an innovation action. So basically, we want to have a platform that's going to be used not only by the consortium, but from other people, educators, learners, but also developers. So this the idea is we're going to have some sort of, as I will show you later on, some sort of an e-shop, which we call marketplace. Now, in terms of the concepts, we have several things we want to develop, but 3 of the most important things is, 1, what you saw in the past is very interesting and very nice polished applications in AR. What is usually missing from these AR applications is the feeling of having virtual humans. So we focus a lot on this proposal on avatars. Avatars is a digital representation of a human. The other thing we want to do, and we want to build our own tool, is we want to make, I know there are tools, and was presented today, some different authoring tools. We want to have an authoring tool for the educator, and he or she can create scenarios according to his or her needs. And finally is the platform, which is going to be a web-based platform where either the people from the consortium can create the applications, but also external people will be able to use it and create their own applications. So this is the overall methodology of the project. I'm going to describe the FSTP thing later on. But as you can see, we have the marketplace, and we decided on basically 2 days ago, we finalized we're going to make the marketplace in XR. So it's not going to be like the typical online shops or marketplaces that you see nowadays. We're going to have an XR representation for the marketplace. So it's going to be in XR. And then it's going to be the platform, which is going to cover both VR, AR, and MR solutions. And then different components, which are illustrated on the left-hand side. And finally, we have the FSTP calls. The marketplace is quite interesting because we don't only want us to create content or solutions, but we want external people to be able to add their either the products or their assets into their marketplace. And this is very important because we're going to have different types of licensing. We're going to have free licensing for specific assets or applications, but also other assets are going to have either pay-as-you-go or a different type of licensing scheme. The last thing about the project, which I believe it's interesting for everybody here, but also for the people who watch us on YouTube, we're going to have financial support for third parties. In essence, out of the 7.6 million euros that we receive, 4.6 million are going to be given to third parties. We're going to have about 20 projects funded. Each project is going to be external projects, so external people, companies, SMEs, universities, businesses can apply. The project is up to 230,000 euros per project. We're going to have 2 different calls. We have 6 thematic pillars. So this is one restriction. You cannot apply to whatever you like. So we have virtual field trips, content creation and exploitation, awareness for climate change and biodiversity challenges, training of young professionals, distance and blended learning, and accessibility and inclusion. And the first call is basically focused for SMEs or universities who want to create content. Applications. The second is about the content. So based on the platform that we're going to create in the next few months, SMEs and universities can apply in order to create tools which are going to be based on our platform. And everything has to be based on open standards. The second thing is going to be an open call for another 10 projects, 2.3 million euros, where we're going to ask for educators or, again, SMEs to create either content or scenarios, which is going to be, again, used towards the platform. Okay, this is what I briefly mentioned, and we're going to have about 20 projects. So now I'm going to show you some very preliminary results. We started in January 2023, so tomorrow it's going to be end of 5 months. So one of the 3 areas that we have been working a lot is in privacy, ethics, and inclusiveness requirements. So we want to explore different issues about societal consequences and ethical safeguarding, data protection, and so on. So what we are doing at the moment, I have to submit a deliverable tonight. It's the deadline. It's the first part of the user requirements. We have a second part in August. So we've done 2 questionnaires in order to collect user requirements from students on one hand, which are above 18, and for experts, educators, business professionals. The survey is still online, so if anybody wants to complete it, either you can get a photo from here, you can email me, and I can send you the information. So we're collecting information. We based our questionnaire on existing validated questionnaire, so we didn't create our own questionnaire. So we did our own survey, and we found out 5 different validated methodologies, and we did a combination of all of them. We put a lot of effort on avatars, as I mentioned, and we have a partner from Spain, from UPC, which is focusing the research in particular on avatars. And there are a lot of issues when you go into communicate with intelligent agents or with visual representations of humans. It's very different to have a collaborative application, and one is using, let's say, a mobile phone, the other person is using HoloLens or something else. So we need here to see the importance of user representation, how you can animate humans, and a lot of questions are unsolved at the moment, like what is presence, or how we can have high level of presence and embodiment. I'll show you only one video from my colleague. It's on the next slide. As you can see, there are a lot of technological challenges we have to face. For example, what's the best visual representation? We see, probably you see, or you play games. In some games, you have the cartoonish representation of a human. In other game or application in VR, you might see, they might try to have a more realistic representation of humans. And there are a lot of other things like animation fidelity. It's quite hard to have a very realistic animation of humans even now, although things are improving. And a lot of other issues which are mentioned on this slide, software issues, authoring tools, and so on. So this is one of the videos from our partner in UPC, where they're trying to see high embodiment. You can see the video is quite self-descriptive, but you can see a person holding one of the major tools, hardware tools for virtual reality. And they're trying to have inverse kinematics. They are applying inverse kinematics in order to have some high level of embodiment. So embodiment means that you feel that the visual representation that's supposed to be representing your body is yours. This is embodiment. And it's not so trivial as you might think. There are loads of studies happening. Of course, there are a lot of other issues that are not examined here, like people have to hold some controllers. We saw before on the HoloLens we had gestures, which is probably more realistic, more intuitive to use. But virtual reality, even nowadays, slowly is moving to hand recognition. And controllers are still the most appropriate tool for interaction. So if I can, yeah, okay. So this was the first study. The second study, which is related to my previous work, is about animation. We want to have the avatars to have realistic representation, but also realistic behavior. You should play. Okay, I think this is not playing. Yeah, now it's playing. As I said, this is based on previous work, but remember from the beginning I said we're trying to move things from TRL4, so this is TRL4, which is going to be moved on TRL7 by the end of the project. So what you see on the left-hand side is the commercial solution, and what you see on the right-hand side is our solution that was developed a few years ago. And we want to focus on providing more realistic emotions. And in this particular case, we're dealing with eye gaze and head movement. You saw in the previous video from my colleague in UPC, this was not taken into account. This is not the only thing that people are working and we want to work on. You're going to see at the end how this works together, but again, the video is self-descriptive. It makes a huge difference if you see a person in VR or AR looking at you, at your eyes. If you see the blue ball here is basically the person, it's you. And in VR or AR, the person is staring at you as you're moving around this virtual person. And also the head is moving as well. This is not the only thing that is important. Other things which are important is body language in general, other emotions. So by having something very realistic here, you can see we have developed also a tool where we can change some basic emotions in order to make the application of XR more realistic. So everything is developed in Unity, and we're building now on top of this work, trying to incorporate this sort of emotions in VR, AR, and MR. The other thing which is missing is, this is quite nice, but sound and voice is quite interesting. So we have developed again. The speakers are not very good, but we want to have the virtual humans to talk. So we developed our own technique based on some lip synchronization. So the idea is that when there is a predefined text, in this case it's a predefined text, so the person is trying to spell the word movie, is doing the animation of the lips correctly. Of course, there are commercial solutions by Hollywood, which are cost millions of euros, and they're doing a pretty good job. This is a very cheap solution, and it's our own solution, but it's also free. Okay, it's going to move on. So we want to incorporate the lip synchronization, eye gaze, and head orientation, along with other body movement. For example, I have a very nice friend and colleague at Cyprus who's Italian. He's more expressive than other people, let's say, in Cyprus, because of the difference in the origin. Okay, see, this is the tool. So you're going to see this was done by my group before I start this project. Okay, so what have we done up to now? We have two solutions. We have a heavy solution. We're using Magic Leap. It was shown before in the previous presentation. It's the headset for augmented reality, one of the two good headsets, HoloLens and Magic Leap. And also we have a light version, which I have on my mobile phone. It's a light version. So the idea is to use what I showed you the past two videos to have an intelligent assistant in augmented reality, where you can talk to him. In that case, it's a male person. We also have a female avatar. And the person can respond to you. And because we had a problem of creating a predefined, we didn't want to create predefined sentences, we use what more or less everybody is talking about. We're using ChatGPT. So what we are doing is you can speak to the augmented reality human representation with your voice. If the software understands your accent, it's going to convert that to text. It's going to get into ChatGPT. It's going to get the answer in real time and respond to you using lip syncing in real time. So I'm going to show you a video of that, which was done 2 days ago. So this is from LipMotion. Now we have two different avatars. We have a female and a male avatar. This is in our lab in Cyprus. First of all, you can see the user can position the intelligent agent anywhere in the room he or she wants. So they're asking a question. You see a ball or something like that. It's not a ball, it's a polygon. This is real time. So this is pure augmented reality. But then we decided, let's move into MR or XR. So we have some panorama images, and now we can move into different locations in Nicosia. And it's down to the teacher to change panoramas. Of course, we're still in the lab, but we can transport into different places in Nicosia. Of course, I can do it for any place in the world. If we have a panorama, or if I have a 360 video, we can just blend the environment and move into a pure mixed reality environment. Okay, so more or less that was it from me. Some advertisement. We have our own conference, flagship conference. It's happening in October in Barcelona. It's nice, Barcelona, if you want to go. We have still open the call for papers, and we have 2 special issues. It's a mixture of both technical and applied research. And finally, we are organizing next year in Cyprus the big conference in computer graphics, Eurographics. And myself and the director of the center are going to be the general chairs. So that was it from me. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you for this. Any questions?
Hi, thanks for a very interesting talk. So first I want to comment, so the second technology objective of your project coincides precisely with the major objective of our XR4 human project, as I mentioned to you before. And second, about the calls. So is it so that the first call is only for businesses and not for universities?
No, no, no. The call is for both businesses and universities. The first call is about creating tools. So it's about software tools which are going to be incorporated into our platform.
But the tools, can university labs apply for this call or just businesses? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So all can apply?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any dates on the calls? Is it this year, the next year of the project?
First of all, we have to build the platform. We haven't started building the platform yet. It starts on month 8, if I remember correctly. We started developing some components, as I showed you. I believe the first call is going to be month 18, so in about a year. And the second call, month 22, 23, if I remember correctly, but I can double check and we can communicate if you can check the website as well, but I don't remember the dates, you know.
Very interesting in the calls, as you understand.
Yes.
Okay.
Deadline.
And another question about the avatars.
Yes.
Do you see in the future that we all close the mic? It's okay. We all gonna have a digital representation of ourselves? Because there are many virtual worlds right now, and when I log in each different of them, I have a different avatar. It's not the same. But I see companies, there is one company that you can use the avatar in some of the platforms and to be the same. So do you see this happening? We will all have the same profile avatar in every metaverse? Or
I don't think we're going to have the same profile in every. We're going to have our personalized avatar. That's my personal opinion. You might disagree. Which is, let's say, it's going to be used in some social media. And then for privacy and other issues, we're going to have, let's say, a fake one, or many fake ones. But what I see happening for sure, very soon, is we're going to have cheap technology and fast technology to make personalized avatars. So the latest technology is moving very fast. Even it's almost 2 years now where with an iPhone, there's a depth camera, and by scanning your face in 30 seconds, you can get a rough representation of your face, which is pretty good. And we're talking about an iPhone 2-3 years ago.
Yes, but if you want the digital avatar to be like you, because on the internet we sometimes want to be someone else.
Of course, yes, of course. If you want.
Okay.
I will continue with another question about the characters. You had, in your example, 2 characters at the same time in the scene. Do they listen to the user at the same time and respond one by one? How do you manage which avatar will answer which question or things like that?
It's a good question. Now we're experimenting. What you saw is not published yet. It's under review, and now it's random. So one person randomly answers first, and the other one follows up. We are going to change that in the future, probably depending on your eye gaze. So if you are looking to some person, you don't expect an avatar which you don't look at to start talking to you. Or it could be, depending on what you want to examine. But at the moment, it's random, yes. But we're still experimenting. There are so many things changing from putting one avatar, second avatar. Everything changes. And imagine if you have a crowd of people.
Another question, do you envision the avatars talking to each other?
Yes. We are working on that, yes.
So you basically have AI talking to the other AI?
Yeah.
And the user is just a third party in the...
Yes, we are working on that. I have no video for that, yes, but we have some prototypes there, yes. So the idea is you go to a crowd, like you go to a conference, let's say, people are talking to each other, you go and interrupt, you step into the conversation, and then you start talking to another avatar which is controlled by a human, and then you talk to another avatar which is controlled by AI.
So in the future you don't know who you're talking to, if it is a...
Probably, yes.
Okay. This is a peer learning with avatars.
And the other thing which is important, I saw that before I come to Athens, is content is also created using AI tools. So one of the problems in AR, XR in education is how to have content. But nowadays, a lot of people are creating content using AI tools. So even the content you're going to be looking is going to be AI generated, not just the avatars.
Okay.
Who are your testing persons?
At the moment, my students. But no. In the future, we're going to have pilot testing. We're collecting the user requirements, and we're going to have testings in several types of education institutions, from colleges, universities for sure. We want to do schools as well. We need to get permission from the ministry in order to get to the schools. It's not so easy. So that's why in the user requirements that we're collecting at the moment, we're collecting only information from students who are above 18 years of age. In the future, as soon as we get the permission, we can go and test it to schools.
It's another question, because I was reading about code for blended learning. Is that at a later stage? Yeah. So please think of us, because this is one of our specialties.
Okay.
Someday.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's interesting, right? Some countries allow citizens to vote from 16, but they cannot use a digital application until they are 18, or you cannot ask them any questions about their educational experience. Amazing.
Yeah, there are also problems. We have in Eurogames, which is a German company doing games as partner, and they were saying also they don't think it's very politically correct to try out headsets in young children. So I don't remember the age, but he was saying it's safe above 15 or 14 years of age. So we're going to avoid going to anybody below 15 or 14 for these purposes. The headsets are not designed for very young people.
Yeah, the same applies for virtual spaces like metaverse.
Yeah.
Some of the spaces like spatial is above 16 to
Above
use it.
16,
So you cannot go
Yes.
to school and demonstrate this.
Yes.
Although it's it's a virtual world that can be displayed on
Yeah.
a laptop, not even with glasses, but you cannot do this in school because it's above 16.
I totally agree, yeah. So probably
Okay.
we're going to go on this
We go up. Okay.
age, 15, 16 and above.
Okay. So nothing else. Thank you.
Good, thank you very much.
Thank you, Fotis.